Well, hello everyone. This is Ron, and of course, as we always say, we're back with you for another episode of Empire Coins and Collectibles. We have a different type of episode today, but before I share that with you, if you could, please like, share, and subscribe. And don't tell my wife about the reflection in my eyeglasses. She hates that. But we're not going to be looking at me too awfully long. We're going to go and share my screen and get started with today's topic. So let me go ahead and share the screen. We should be looking now at the topic for today. It's episode number 89, Stacking Constitutional Silver. What does it mean times face? And of course, there's always a buyer beware. If we can learn a little bit each and every day about coin collecting, that means that we're going to get greater enjoyment and, of course, minimize our risk when we go to buy. But again, as I said, if you could please like, share, and subscribe, that will help us grow the channel and we'll reach more people and, of course, bring in new coin collectors or numismatists. All right, let's go ahead and get started. So what does it really mean times face when you go to buy? Well, it's all about silver content. So silver content is in our constitutional, and generally speaking, we're talking about 1964 and back, okay? And there are some examples from 65 through 70 that are 40% silver. That's in our Kennedy half dollars. And then some of the re-releases of 90% silver later in those years in the 90s and 2000s. We do have some in the 1970s, but those are more like 40% silver. So what you're looking at right now is a wartime silver alloy nickel. These were minted in 1942 to 1945. They weigh 5 grams. So what is the silver content for this war nickel? It's 35%. So if it weighs 5 grams, we multiply that by 0.35. It has 1.75 grams of silver in this war nickel. So how much of that is troy ounce? Well, we can do the calculation. The troy ounce becomes 0.05626 troy ounces in a silver war nickel. And notice I went to the reverse of the nickel, not as good as a picture as the obverse, but you see that big P over the capital? That is a designation that would tell you this is a silver war nickel and it has silver in it. So this is something that you want to be on the lookout for, but it's very rare that you find it in circulation. If you remember Gresham's law says that bad money will chase good money out of circulation. In other words, the more expensive metal is hoarded and removed, while the cheaper metal at the same denomination is used to pay for the more expensive metal when it's taken out of circulation. So obviously, the silver coins have been removed from circulation because why? Well, we're going to find out why in the next few lines as I click through this. Is a Civil War nickel worth 5 cents? Not really. And that's where the times face comes into play. If we go ahead and translate this into dollars and cents, so to speak, the silver content in the Silver War nickel is worth $1.45. That's a lot of money for just a nickel, right? And we used to laugh at my brother for paying $80 for a silver dollar, which was actually a Morgan dollar. We got a big kick out of that, especially with my wife and his wife. They couldn't believe he paid $80 for a silver dollar. But in any case, silver content matters, and of course, numismatics matter. Today, we're not talking, however, about the numismatic value. We're only talking about the intrinsic value, which is the metal content. So if we take that $1.45 and divide it by 5 cents, that means that when you buy a Civil War nickel from, say, a dealer, you're going to be paying 29 times face because of the silver content in it. So that's where this comes into play. It's the silver content value divided by the monetary value of the coin. So $1.45 divided by 5 cents says it's 29 times face. That's kind of interesting. So if you go into a coin store and you say, I want to buy these silver war nickels you got, how much is it? And they'll say, well, we're selling them all 30 times face or 35 times face. Well, you need to understand what the spot price of silver is. Today, the spot price of silver is $25.74 per troy ounce. And so the times face of a coin is going to go up or down depending on the spot price of silver. So based on $25.74, a Civil War nickel has 29 times face value in it when compared to just the 5 cents or the nickel value, the monetary value. What about a dime? Well, here we have a 1955 Roosevelt dime. It's 90% silver, not 35% silver. So 90% silver. Well, how much does it weigh? It weighs 2.5 grams. How much silver does it have in it in terms of weight or mass? Well, it has 2.25 grams. That's 2.5 grams times 90%, which equals 2.25 grams of silver. If we take that and divide it by 31.1 grams per ounce to make up a troy ounce, that gives us that in the dime, in this 1955 dime, it has 0.07235 ounces of pure silver in it. It's a fractional ounce, of course. Now, what's the value of that coin based on the silver spot price? Well, it's $25.74 per ounce times 0.07235 ounces of silver in that dime. So that dime is actually worth, because of its silver content, $1.86. Well, that's kind of interesting, and realistically, it makes it easy. What's the time face? We'll divide that $1.86 by 10 cents, and you're going to get 18.6 times face. Even at $25.74 per troy ounce, I challenge you to find a dime, a silver dime that you can buy at 18.6 times face value. You're probably going to be paying 25 to 30 times face value, and there's always going to be a premium on constitutional silver. And of course, the coin shops are going to make money on it. So try to buy it as cheaply as you can get it. Now, here's a Washington quarter. How many grams of silver does it have in it? It's 6.25 grams. What is that in troy ounces? Well, since it's 90% silver, we do the calculation. There's 5.625 grams of silver in that quarter. We divide that by 31.1 grams per ounce. We have 0.1809 ounces of silver in this quarter. So what's the value of the silver in that quarter? It's $4.66. So a 90% silver is not worth a quarter or 25 cents. It's worth $4.66. I'm rounding up to the nearest cent, of course. You would not want to spend that quarter. Now, if you think about it, when you look at Rob Fine's Treasures or Blue Ridge Silver Hound or some of the other personalities on YouTube, they're doing coin roll searches. Why are they doing coin roll searches? They're looking for the 90% silver to pull those coins out because they're not worth a dime or a quarter or a half. They're worth a lot more money than face value. What is that times face? It is 18.62 times face value. So if somebody goes into a coin shop and says, I want to buy a roll of quarters, they're going to be charged a starting price of 18.62. They're actually probably going to pay 25 to 30 times face to get that roll of quarters. But as far as silver value in the quarter, it's 18.62 times face. It's actually $4.66 of silver value in a 90% silver coin. And here's the Benjamin Franklin coin. It's actually beautiful. It's a 50-cent piece. It has 12.5 grams of silver in it. Now, what does that represent? It represents over a third of an ounce of silver, right? Here's a Kennedy half. Yes, I know this is a 2009 Kennedy half, but it is 90% silver. And here's its reverse. So if we look at the silver by weight, it's 12.5 grams times 0.9. It's 11.25 grams of silver in that $half. You divide that by 31.1 grams per ounce, troy ounce, you get 0.3617 ounces, or a little over a third of an ounce of silver in that $half. Well, what does that mean in terms of spot price? Well, if we go ahead and translate it into dollars, it's $25.74 per troy ounce. That's the spot price of today, just to remind you, times a third of an ounce, a little over a third of an ounce, which is 0.3617 ounces of silver. And that gives you that every $half is worth $9.31 in today's spot price. If you find a Kennedy half that's 64 and prior, it is worth almost $10. Yeah, I know it's $9.31. What's it going to be worth when the spot price continues to rise? It will go up as well. So no wonder people are doing 50-cent coin searches in bankrolls. They're looking to pull out $9.31 for every 90% silver coin they find. You would not spend this as a $half. If you did, you just gave up $8.81 of value by just spending it as a 50-cent piece. So knowing what your constitutional silver looks like and which ones have silver content is a very powerful thing. It allows you to increase your net worth by taking 50 cents, paying for something for 50 cents, and it possibly is worth $9.31. So if we go ahead and divide that $9.31 by 50 cents, we find that every $half that's near uncirculated or uncirculated is about 18.62 times face. Now that last statement I made is real key. So let's go ahead and carry that into the wrap up. So critical observations when buying constitutional silver at times face. If you can get it at times face, what you pay will depend upon the spot price of silver. And of course, that changes from day to day based on my previous comment. Buying times face does not account for the loss of silver due to the wear and tear of that coin in circulation. You can go back and look at some Mercury dimes and Barber dimes, and those dimes are well worn. So rather than having 2.56 grams of total metal content in it, there has been wear and rubbing that takes and removes that metal content off of that dime. So the silver content is going to be much less. But here's the critical point. When you buy it from a coin shop, they don't care. They're still going to charge you the times face value plus a premium. So you're not only paying the penalty of loss of silver in that coin due to circulation, you're going to be paying the penalty due to the premium times face. Now, if you buy constitutional silver, that brings us to this point. What you want to do is try to buy Kennedy $half and Roosevelt dimes, because that will get you the least loss due to circulation best value. As a matter of fact, the Kennedy $half and the Roosevelt dimes generally have little to no loss of silver content due to circulation, because they didn't stay in circulation all that long before we went to the copper nickel type coins, the dimes and $half. So if you're looking to buy constitutional silver, I would recommend buying Kennedy $half and Roosevelt dimes. Always be prepared to pay a premium over the spot price of constitutional silver. And what that means again is, if you're buying a dime as if you are today, and the spot price is a little over 18 times face, they may be charging you 25 to 30 times face value. So you're paying a premium due to the coin shop endeavoring to make a profit. Watch out for price gouging as well. And please understand, the more in demand constitutional silver is, the greater the premium you're going to pay, just like silver eagles. You're not going to pay for a silver eagle a full troy ounce price, which would be $25.67. You're going to be paying perhaps $10 to $12 over that spot price. That almost represents a 50% increase over spot price. If you buy from someone other than a dealer, always try to pay spot price or a little less. Be fair to them, but always have them be fair to you. Otherwise, if they're going to charge you premium values, you can buy all you want from a coin shop. Number 6 is, of course, have a safe place to store your silver that is only known to you and one other trusted person. And the reason why I say that, we hear these stories where people unfortunately die and somebody else buys their house, and then they find a secret compartment in the house where they've stored their bars of silver or their constitutional silver. And it takes an honest person or a person willing to give that silver up to the family after they bought the house. Technically, when you buy the house, whatever's in the house is yours. So if you want to protect and make sure that that silver goes on to your family members, let one other trusted family member know where your silver is stored, just in case. One never knows when one is leaving. Lastly, please remember, stacking silver does not pay a dividend. Stocks pay a premium because they're appreciating in the stock market or falling in price, and quarterly they will pay a dividend. Bonds will pay you interest payments quarterly. And so you'll get this stream of income from stocks and bonds, whereas silver, you'll not reap the benefit of silver, nor will you reap the loss until you sell it. So you only make a gain or loss upon the sale of the silver. Stacking silver, of course, may not be right for you if you think you might suddenly need the cash for something else. And here's the problem with suddenly needing the cash. You're going to sell that silver as quickly as you can, and you may sell it at a depressed value. In other words, you have to make the price right for somebody willing to pay it and buy all your silver for you to get the cash. So you might suffer a penalty well below the face value or the times face value of the silver coin. All right, my friends, I think that we're pretty much done with this. I hope this has been interesting to you. I hope it's been helpful to you. And please remember, if you're not out there looking, you're not finding those silver coins. All the best, and until next time, you take care of yourself.